Hi, my name is Angie Halverson, and I had the opportunity to meet many of you at the movement screen that we did for many of the wellness challengers at the Carlisle High School back in February, just as you guys were getting ready to start your wellness challenge. We were able to do that movement screen and assessment for you. I hope it was helpful. I hope it provided some good information. And now Kathy and Chris have asked me to give you some information around protein. I know you've had a week where you were focusing on food and superfood. And one of the things that when I met with them initially, we were talking about was what exactly is superfood. And in my belief and in the work that I have done with clients over the last 10 years, I believe superfood is protein. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about protein, why it's important. So the purpose today is to give you some education on important protein as a part of a healthy diet and the importance of protein in weight loss. Additionally, giving you some background information on making some good choices around choosing healthy protein, how to create a healthy plate that is centered around protein, and about how much protein you should eat on a regular basis. I want to caveat all of this by saying every person is different. Every person's journey to health and wellness is very bio-individual. It's based on your stress, your sleep, other factors in your life, perhaps chronic illness or genetics plays a role. So there's a lot of different factors that go into how you can create the best meal plan for you. I firmly believe that the best meal plan is one that you can stick with. I do not believe in quick fixes. I do not believe in the fad diets that are out there. I really, truly, honestly believe that many of those fad diets we see flow through the internet and flow through a lot of the social influencers that are out there are really designed more to make money than they are to help people get well. I believe that there's some very basic fundamental things that can be done that don't cost you anything. You don't even have to spend any money going to a professional to get the answer. Protein is one of those things that if you just eat a good, solid diet of healthy proteins filled around proteins, including some fruits and some vegetables, you're really going to have a good recipe for health, longevity, and in many cases, weight loss. So let's talk a little bit about protein and why it's important. Protein helps muscle repair. It helps build muscle. It helps maintain lean muscle mass. So as we get older, we begin to lose lean muscle mass, and we actually start to lose lean muscle mass even beginning in our 30s. So middle age on average right now is about 36 years old. If we're looking at lifespan somewhere in the vicinity of about 75 to 80, middle age is 30 to 35. That's when we start beginning to lose lean muscle mass. And if we don't work hard in our 30s into our 40s and 50s, we will lose a significant portion of lean muscle mass over the course of our later years. So we want to eat protein to build lean muscle mass. If you're working out regularly, consistently, doing a good strength training routine, then you want that protein, good protein sources to rebuild and repair your muscles. It also helps with a healthy immune system. So protein is essential for maintaining our immunity, keeping us healthy overall. It helps with hormone regulation and hormone balance, including the hormones that are essential for weight loss. Additionally, it helps maintain strong, healthy joints. Again, something critical as we get older. It helps maintain a strong skeletal system. It helps maintain good, healthy skin, hair, nails, and really so much more. I could go on. This protein conversation could go on for hours, but I want to keep this relatively quick. You also need more protein if you're sick, if you've been ill. Not only does it help maintain your immune system, but your body really requires good protein if you've been sick, you're fighting an illness. There's a lot of stuff going around right now. And if you've been kind of down and out, struggling with fever, with respiratory illnesses, good sources of protein as a part of a regular diet, even through illness, is important. So how do we go about eating good protein? Protein comes in multiple sources. We can find protein in animal meat, in fish, and we even find protein in fruits and vegetables. There's always a little bit of protein in an apple. Apple has a small amount of protein. Oranges have small amount of protein. We get into larger, better sources of protein when we start talking about lean meats, chicken, turkey, the leaner cuts of beef, and fish. Seafood is a great source of protein. Shrimp, lobster, whitefish, all are great sources of protein. Additionally, dairy is an excellent source of protein if you can tolerate it. I always recommend to clients that they focus on Greek yogurt. That's a really good source of protein. It doesn't have a lot of additives to it, primarily just dairy. So yogurts are a good source of protein. In some cases, supplementation using protein powders can be a good source of protein. It's often difficult to find a fairly clean, and when I say clean, not loaded with a bunch of sugars and extra ingredients. It's tough to find that in a sort of a generic protein powder. You often have to go look very specifically for clean sources of protein powders, and there are companies that do make really good clean sources of protein. So dairy, lean meats, vegetables, fruits, seafood, all excellent sources of protein. For those that are on a plant-based diet, there's still good sources of protein in beans, legumes. So there's a lot of different places to find good protein. I highly recommend that when you're looking and trying to make food choices that you stick as close to single ingredient foods as possible. Things that when you look at the ingredient list or you look at it on your plate, you're like, yep, this is chicken. It's chicken. That's all it is. Or when you look at an ingredient list at the grocery store, you know and understand and can pronounce the majority, actually all of the ingredients on a package. It should say granola, quinoa, and cocoa chips, right? That's a granola, type of granola that I eat. And it has protein in it, and it's a very limited ingredient source. So looking for those single ingredients is a really good way to ensure that you're getting a good, solid, healthy diet. Staying away from a lot of the bags, boxes, and canned food that we find in the center of the grocery store. That's all very highly processed and not good for overall health and longevity. So how much protein should you be eating? Research varies across multiple studies. A good rule of thumb, however, is that you're focusing on 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Okay, so when I say 1 gram of protein, you have to do a little bit of digging and a little bit of research. And look into how much protein actually comes in a particular food choice. On the back, on the nutrition label, you'll see per serving how much protein is in a serving size of whatever it is that you're choosing to eat. You have to do a little bit of digging when you're looking at meat. You have to look it up. So 20 gram weight. So if you put a piece of chicken on a scale and it weighs 20 grams, you're going to get out of that about 10 to 11 grams of protein. So we have to be careful and understand that the total weight of something that we're eating does not necessarily equate to the amount of protein per gram that is in it. Whole other conversation. I'd be happy to dig into that with anybody who has very specific questions about how to do that. But the bottom line is, if you focus on a fist-sized portion of protein 3 to 4 times a day, you're going to get really close to that 1 gram of protein per body weight. So 4 ounces is about 1 fist size in terms of total weight. Depending on the type of food it is, it has varying levels of protein in it. But we're not as humans, we are not going to overeat on protein and fruits and vegetables if we stick with a single source or a single ingredient diet. and that's all we do, you're going to really be on the way to a really solid, healthy diet, avoiding all of the bags, the boxes, and the cans of processed things, focusing on single ingredient. Center your plate with that fist size of protein, and then fill in around that with fruits and vegetables. So it's pretty easy when we're looking at a plate, right? We want our protein to be the center, and then we want to fill in around the edge. And that's not a donut, that's my plate. We want to fill in around the edge with fruits and vegetables. Again, broccoli, legumes, asparagus, I mean, you name it, fruits and vegetables to fill in and help us feel full with that good, nice, lean source of protein. And you're going to be on your way to a really nice, healthy diet without worrying about counting calories, without worrying about trying to count macros or get really complicated. Eat whole foods, eat lean proteins, and focus on fruits and vegetables. Everybody is bio-individual, so remember that it varies for everybody. Again, stress, sleep, all of the things, your workout intensity, how sedentary or not sedentary you are, whether you've been sick, all of those things have a direct impact on how much protein you really do need. But again, focusing on lean meats and lean proteins and fruits and vegetables, and I think you're going to be on your way to some really great food choices. That's the superfood. There's no diet hacking, just eat the real food.